What's up, guys? So I'm back on the bike. I have not been on the bike in probably like 3 or 4 weeks now, like almost a month, maybe a little bit more. So in my previous videos, I was alluding that I was going on vacation to somewhere, the land of the ice and snow, where the midnight sun shines and the hot springs flow. Yeah, I think that's the way that the Led Zeppelin lyrics go. Yeah, so I just got back from Iceland a couple weeks ago. I think actually this is my first full week back from Iceland. Yeah, so I went to Iceland. I also was alluding that I was trying to save up money for certain something. I'll get into that. But yeah, I didn't just go to Iceland to go on vacation. I went on Iceland to do something, you know. So what I did is I've been talking to this girl online for the past 4 years now. We met through a mutual friend. So a guy that she went to school with is living here in Dubuque, and I met her through that guy's sister. That guy's sister introduced us online, and like we exchanged each other's Facebook information. We started messaging about 4 years ago. It started out with us just sending care packages to each other. Like, I sent her American snacks, she sent me Filipino snacks. Her package got to me first, which I felt really bad about, because like I wanted my package to get there first, but hers got here first, and it took an additional like 2 or 3 months before my package got to her. So luckily we didn't send any perishable foods, because you can't really send perishable foods legally anyway. But that's besides the point. We started out sending care packages, and then we started talking more and more about like more personal things happening in our lives, and we started developing feelings for each other. I asked her out, she said no originally, and then she asked me out, and I said no, and then we tried dating, and like it was a long distance relationship. We never met each other before, so that went on for a few months, and then I ended things because I was skeptical that I'd ever meet her, you know. And plus I was dealing with depression too, so I, sad to say it, but I was thinking about ending my own life, and I didn't want to like leave behind somebody that loved me, you know. So it was just this whole thing. She loved me through all that. She loved me through my depression. She loved me through my fat phase, where I was like really obese. I was like 235 pounds, and I'm not a tall guy at all, so that was a lot of weight. But things have been looking up for me recently, the past year and a half or so. So I decided to date her again, and I flew to Iceland to meet her for the first time. So yeah, I went to Iceland. I met up with her. She's originally from the Philippines. That's where she's a citizen of. She's in Iceland on a work visa, so she's working in Iceland right now. And I was just so ecstatic to meet her for the first time. And I was there for 2 weeks. We hung out for the first week that I was there. She couldn't get off of work, so when she wasn't at work, we hung out and stuff. And then the second week that I was there, she was able to get off work, so we spent the whole time together. She pretty much lived with me at the Airbnb. She cooked me meals even when she was working, which she's a good cook, you know. She really took care of me. My nose got infected when I was there. It like swelled up with pus, and it was just a really bad skin infection. She took care of my nose when I was there. Like yeah, it was just crazy how great of a person she is. I knew she was great, but I didn't know she was that great. Anyway, before I left for Iceland, I bought a ring. I told her that it was a promise ring, that I'd bring her to the United States someday, and she was like, "Oh my God, like I can't believe that you do that," you know. And we talked about it for a day or two, about how I got her this promise ring and what it meant and stuff. And then I was like, well, I want to surprise you when I get to Iceland. So maybe I'll just stop talking about it and you'll forget. And she's like, I don't know if I can, you know. So anyways, I was like, just we'll just stop talking about it, you know. So we stopped talking about it. Sure enough, she forgot about it. So I got to Iceland, and I had this ring the whole time that I was there. A weekend, a Saturday, I rented a car, which was expensive as all get out, because I'm not going to go into that, but I should have booked it ahead of time, but since I didn't book it ahead of time, it was like 3 times more expensive. So they ended up cutting me a deal because I told them that I was going to propose to my girlfriend. And yeah, so it was $300 instead of $400. Real big savings. Originally it was supposed to be like $120 for the car for a day, but it was like $300 for a day. Not even a day, like 7 hours. Anyway, I proposed to her at a waterfall, and she said yes. So we got engaged. The whole reason why I was trying to save up money and make a certain amount in a year is I thought I needed to make $43,000 a year to bring her here, which is not the case. I need to make at least like $17,000 a year, which I'll be fine with once I get my tax returns from 2022. My tax returns from 2021, I was on disability for 2021, so I did not make enough. So I gotta wait a little bit. But anyway, I'm applying for a fiance visa to bring her here. Yeah, I'm gonna bring her here. We're gonna get married here, and hopefully she can live in the United States for a while and work in the United States. Once she comes here on the fiance visa and we get married, we then have to apply for her green card so that she can work. So the whole time that she's waiting for the green card to come in, she will not be able to work, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. We were thinking about getting married in the Philippines and then waiting for the green card to come in and bring her here that way. It's like a K3 visa or something like that. That way, right when she gets to the United States, since we're already married, she would be able to work. But the problem with that is that would take like 2 or 3 years before we'd be living together, you know. So the K1 visa is a little bit quicker for her to get here, and we can spend more time together. But the unfortunate part is I'll have to make enough money for both of us, and I'll have to support both of us, because legally she cannot work to make money because she doesn't have a green card. So yeah, that's the whole thing about the trip to Iceland. That's the big news from the last week or so. I made a video about 2 or 3 months ago explaining my trip to Iceland and how I was going to see her and how she was my girlfriend. But I realized that her dad watches my YouTube videos, so I didn't want to spoil the surprise. Yeah, so about that, the surprise was we didn't tell her family that we were dating. And I didn't tell my family that I was dating her either. So we kind of surprised our family that we were dating, first of all, and then we surprised our family that we got engaged. So yeah, it kind of shocked both our families. Her family was really happy for us. My family was like happy but kind of concerned that it went so quick, and they didn't really understand the whole timeline. So I had to explain the whole timeline to them and stuff. But yeah, that's that. When I was in Iceland, I applied to a whole lot of jobs here in Dubuque because I knew that roofing, although it's been a great job, and the company's just a great company to work for because my boss is just super awesome. He let me get time off to go to Iceland. He let me get time off to go to Delaware. It was unpaid vacation though, but you know, I got time off, which was really nice. Anyway, it's a good company to work for, but I also don't get that many hours either. So I'm averaging like somewhere between 25 and 30 hours a week, depending on weather and depending on the jobs and stuff. So it's really inconsistent pay, and I need like consistent pay if I'm gonna be able to afford to do the things that I need to do, especially with my new car and the increased car insurance and motorcycle insurance. And just all the expenses, like to get a lawyer to get the K1 visa, it would cost it would cost like $3,500 to get the lawyer in the first place, and then it's going to cost like an additional $500 something for the application fee. So yeah, it's going to be expensive. It's expensive to fill out all the paperwork for her to get here. I'm getting a lawyer because I don't want to screw up the paperwork and have something wrong and then not get approved and then have to restart the whole process over again, which would take an additional like 13 months for the paperwork to go through. So yeah, it's going to be expensive to get a lawyer and get all the paperwork through and get her here on that visa. But it's going to be worth it, you know. So I need more money. So I applied to all these jobs, and I thought 1 or 2 jobs was going to get back to me. I had about 6 jobs get back to me in a week's time. I had quite a few interviews last week, and my boss at the roofing company allowed me to get off for interviews and stuff. So anyway, I had a job at John Deere, or I had a job interview at John Deere on Wednesday, and I was like, I don't know how the interview went. I think the interview went well, but I'm not sure. They told me that they'd get back to me on Friday. Friday they got back to me, and I passed the interview portion. So it's broken up into 3 things that need to be done prior to the job offer. The first thing that needed to be done was the online personality quiz. So that whole test took about like an hour and 20 minutes or so. I filled that out in Iceland. It was kind of a long test. I was kind of concerned about that too. Like, I didn't know how I did on that. And then it also had like your resume and stuff like that. I completed that. I got a call for the interview, set it up for Wednesday. Wednesday went there. They kind of went over the benefits package, and then they had me interview with two different employees at John Deere. So both of them asked me behavioral questions. So what happened, why it happened, and how did I fix it, or something like that. I don't know exactly, but there's like a three-step answer. So like what the situation was, what I thought about fixing the situation, and what action did I take, or something like that. But it was pretty long. It was a lot of questions. It was one of the hardest interviews that I've had in a long time, and yeah, I passed it. So the next portion of the interview process, or the hiring process, I should say, is I have to schedule a physical, a drug test, and a background check, which I'll have no problem with any of those things. I don't do drugs. I think I'm healthy, at least. And then I also don't have a background. Like, I don't have a criminal background. So I'm really excited about this John Deere opportunity. They pay their workers really well. I'd be starting out at like $24 an hour, and I'd get benefits after 30 days. So I'm really looking forward to this. You know, I'm really looking forward to starting this job opportunity. And the thing about John Deere is they treat their workers so well that it's like a career. It's not just a job. It's not just I'm gonna work this job for a little bit until something else comes up. I'm gonna work this job for a long time, because I know that I can support myself with it, you know, and that's what I was looking for in employment, you know. So anyway, that wraps up the last like 2 or 3 weeks now. Yeah, I hope you guys are as happy for me as I'm happy for myself, which I guess it's kind of jaded, but yeah, I'm just really happy for the way that things have worked out, and I'm really thankful for God for blessing me with all this. I've prayed for all this for a long time. I've prayed that I'd be able to marry a girl who loves me as much as I love her. I've prayed that I'd be able to support myself with a job. I've prayed that I'd get a job that works well with my schedule and doesn't drain me completely. And yeah, I've just been praying a lot recently, and it's good to know that things will work out, you know. because I know that like 2 years ago, or maybe actually 2 years ago, I didn't think any of this was possible. I thought I was gonna die in like less than a month 2 years ago, and I was ready to commit suicide. I was ready to end my life, and I'm just so happy that I didn't, because things worked out, you know, things got better. And if you guys are struggling with a hard time, just know that things will get better. I seriously thought that nothing would get better 2 years ago, and now all this has kind of fallen into place. Granted, it wasn't easy. I did have to work for it. You know, I had to wake up early in the morning and go to the gym and exercise to lose weight. I had to get out of bed and go to work and just focus on improving myself, you know, and those small steps did lead into a big change. So the number one thing that I did, though, is I really started having faith in God again, because I feel like if I didn't have faith in God, like, I probably wouldn't have changed at all. I probably would have been in the same boat, and I probably would have, I don't know if I would have ended my life, but I probably would have done something really stupid, and I'm happy that I didn't. So thank you guys for watching. I know this is kind of a long video, but a lot happened, so thank you guys. Bye.